Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we break down South Africa's biggest political stories and hold power to account. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss out on our in-depth news updates and political commentary. Today, we are diving deep into a story that has once again rocked South Africa's political scene, the latest admission by ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula that the African National Congress, and not the economic freedom fighters, was primarily responsible for the collapse of VBS Mutual Bank. Now, for those who remember, the VBS scandal in 2018 wasn't just another corruption story. It was a tragedy, especially for the thousands of rural South Africans who lost their life savings. Over $2 billion vanished. Municipalities funneled illegal deposits into the bank, and when the bubble burst, the damage was devastating. And now, several years later, we have a top ANC leader admitting the party's responsibility. But is this a genuine attempt at accountability, or political damage control just ahead of elections? Let's break it all down. What did Mbalula actually say? In a recent public statement, Fikile Mbalula made waves by saying that the ANC, not the EFF, must shoulder the blame for VBS's collapse. While many expected the ANC to deflect, Mbalula's admission shocked political observers. He stated that the ANC's own leaders and members were involved in wrongdoing, and that it's time to face the consequences. He didn't hold back. He pointed fingers at the ANC's Limpopo provincial leadership, accusing them of mishandling the entire debacle. Mbalula even referred to a disputed $2 million allegedly linked to former Treasurer-General Zweli Mkhize, suggesting further internal rot. He went on to say that any ANC member found guilty must face prosecution and repay stolen funds. Bold words, but South Africans have heard promises like this before. A quick recap: what happened at VBS? VBS Mutual Bank was a small bank known for serving rural communities. But beneath the surface, it was riddled with corruption. A 2018 report by the South African Reserve Bank laid it bare. Officials from municipalities were illegally investing public money into the bank in return for kickbacks. And who were among those implicated? You guessed it, ANC leaders. Notably, Florence Radzilani, the deputy chairperson of Limpopo. Msiza, the former provincial treasurer. These weren't minor figures. They were high-ranking officials who were supposed to protect public resources, not exploit them. The report showed that money meant for service delivery, roads, water, clinics, was instead flowing into VBS, then disappearing into personal bank accounts, luxury cars, and lavish lifestyles. And who paid the price? Ordinary South Africans. Pensioners. Small businesses. Rural residents who trusted the system. What about the EFF? Interestingly, the EFF, which has often been accused of benefiting from VBS funds, was notably absolved in Mbalula's statement. He shifted the blame almost entirely onto the ANC. But let's not forget, an affidavit from former VBS chairperson Zweli Mkhize claimed that the EFF received $16 million through various fronts. Both Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu have faced serious questions about their alleged links to the scandal. So why is Mbalula downplaying that? Is this an attempt to limit political fallout by keeping the focus in-house? Or is there more behind the scenes we don't know yet? Critics argue that the ANC could be shielding former allies or trying to preempt damaging election narratives by owning up to part of the scandal now. The public's growing frustration. Let's be real, South Africans are tired of promises. After state capture, Nkandla, and countless local corruption scandals, the public wants action, not just talk. Only Zweli Mkhize has faced serious prison time. He was sentenced to 15 years. But the big-name politicians? Most are still free. Some are even back in government roles. This ongoing lack of accountability is why many people feel that Mbalula's admission may be too little, too late. He claims that the ANC will pursue recovery of funds and prosecutions, but unless we see arrests, court dates, and convictions, these words mean nothing to the people who lost everything in VBS. What's next for the ANC? With elections on the horizon, the ANC is under pressure. Voters want a party that's honest and can lead with integrity. Mbalula's statement might be a calculated effort to show transparency and take some moral high ground. But this also opens the door for other political parties to question the ANC's entire governance track record. The EFF, DA, and new coalitions are waiting to seize on any misstep. Will this admission help the ANC clean up its image? Or will it backfire by reminding voters of just how deep the rot really is? Final thoughts. The collapse of VBS wasn't just a financial scandal, it was a betrayal of trust. It exposed how vulnerable communities were exploited by the very leaders they elected. Mbalula's statement may seem like a step toward accountability, but it's just that, a step. Until there is visible justice for the victims, and until the stolen billions are recovered, South Africans will remain skeptical. So, we ask you, what do you think? Is the ANC really taking responsibility, or is this political theatre ahead of elections? Will the EFF's role ever be fully investigated? And will the victims of VBS ever see real justice? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you want more deep dives into stories that matter, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly breakdowns of South Africa's biggest political developments. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay informed, and as always, see you next time.